Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Sam Becker, and today I had the honor and the pleasure of sitting down with a very special guest named Maddie Cawley. Maddie is a college athlete turned young entrepreneur, decided to drop out after only one semester of college and dedicated her life and her passions to helping the youth community, the Gen Z entrepreneurs. So she helps them create their own wealth and create their own lifestyle and success. And today we sat down and talked all about her entrepreneurial journey, being raised in a family of entrepreneurs. Her mom is a serial entrepreneur, and just her whole upbringing, her whole mindset, how she was able to turn her very first business into a six-figure business at such a young age. They believe she was 19 years old. Now she's 21 and building an empire for the young youth community, and it was just a huge inspiration. And today we talk all about that, including her favorite quotes, her inspiration, and just her overall background, how she does what she does, and how she is planning her empire to build that to the moon and back. So today was a very, very big opportunity to learn from Maddie. I hope you guys get a ton of value as well. Thank you so much, and stay tuned. So Maddie, I want to talk to you about your background. You have a very
Absolutely.
entrepreneurial type background. So talk to me about that, your upbringing.
Absolutely. So my mom is a serial entrepreneur. My dad's a former sportscaster. He retired actually when we moved to Texas. So I am originally from California. We moved here when I was 8. So he retired when I was really young, really just helps my mom now in her business. Actually, has a journalism degree, obviously being in the sportscasting world. So helps my mom. My mom's a book publisher now, helps coaches, consultants, anyone basically publish a best-selling book. And so he edits a lot of those books. But anyway, so I was raised in an entrepreneurial home, just like you said, kind of in that environment of entrepreneurship and business and all kinds of stuff. So, but a very positive environment as well. Like I'm a huge family girl. I love my parents. I have 2 sisters. And it's really been a great, I love my home life. So it's been a blessing. But yeah, so I basically was raised in an entrepreneurial home. I went to college. I played college basketball for a semester. And it just wasn't for me. So I actually went to college to become a physical therapist, just because it was kind of wrapped in that sports world. I found my identity in sports and in basketball back then. And so that was just a huge part of my life back then and still is, but again, have different focuses now. But played there for a semester. I didn't love it. And so I moved back home and didn't really know what I was going to do. I mean, I was out of college and was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. So I started applying for some jobs at like a golf course. And there was another one, I think it was like just a restaurant or something. And then my mom had always kind of said in my ear, like, hey, if you're ever interested, like never forced it, but obviously knew the benefits of it and wanted me to kind of dip my toes in. So, but I'd always heard that. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe someday. Like, it's not for me right now. But anyway, so my sister's birthday is coming up. This was 2 years ago in 2019. And we're looking for a yard sign that says happy birthday. And so are you familiar with that? It says like happy birthday, congrats. So yeah,
Right.
so we were looking for a yard sign and we contacted 5 or 6 companies, and either they didn't have availability, they were booked out for a few months, terrible customer service. And my mom just kind of offhandedly said the comment, like, if someone were to do this well, they would crush it. And I was in the room and I was like, why don't we do it? And so that's when our first company was born. It's called Letter My Landscape. And it's those yard signs. But basically our selling point is we sell them nationwide rather than renting them to our specific area. And so we had obviously a lot bigger audience. And we did really well. We actually did 6 figures in our first year. My goal our first month was to make like $1,000. And we ended up actually doing just over 11,000 in our first month. And so it just totally, completely changed my view and showed me the opportunity. Like, wow, like it can seriously change your life within a month. So that's just kind of where I'm at now. I ended up building a few other companies with my sister, e-commerce. And now we have the Young Entrepreneur School, where we teach other kids and teens, young adults, how to make money online and start their own businesses.
That is amazing. So you basically like you've heard of, I'm sure you've heard of Grant Cardone, right?
Yes.
You like totally 10x your first month.
Yes.
So cool. Wow. Okay. So how did you, tell me a little bit more about that just for a second. Then I want to get into the Yes program because that's
Sure,
what,
sure.
but yeah, so how did you put the whole thing together? Like did you find suppliers to buy the stuff and then you started drop shipping it?
Yeah,
Kind of,
absolutely. So again, Letter My Landscape was born, and originally we had seen the rental model, and that's what we were going to do. We didn't even, I mean, we had never even thought of the selling model because genius, right? But we found a few suppliers that would send us inventory basically. And one of the suppliers said, you know what, we have another client that's selling them nationwide. We'll just drop ship for you. And so you won't have any inventory. There's no startup costs other than like a like your LLC and stuff, or like very minimal costs up front just to start your business, right? And so that was really intriguing. And so we went that route, and it obviously what paid off. I mean, just it broadened. I mean, our target audience was literally across the nation rather than just little Texas, well, not little, Texas is huge, but our little community, right? And
right.
so yeah, that's really how that started. And so we got the business name done, logo, found that supplier, and it was the greatest thing ever. I mean, it
That's
changed my life and my view on entrepreneurship as a whole. So
yeah. And that was
yeah,
2019, you said?
2019, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I came back from college, and it was kind of in the height of all those events that happened, and so the yard sign business totally exploded. And
Yeah.
it just, yeah.
Especially for like, yeah, birthdays, graduations, all
Yes.
you're talking about like those big,
Hmm.
like, right? You just
Yes.
you
You
put some lights
stake
on.
them in the yard. Yep.
That is amazing. Okay, so how did you actually get customers? Were you running like advertisements? Were you doing just word of mouth or
Yeah. So the craziest thing, we already had pretty good profit margins, and we started listing on Etsy. And so Etsy brings all the traffic to you. And they have Etsy ads, but the max they let you spend a day is like $25. And so I was spending like $8 to $10 a day. And that's what I've kept it at ever since. And it's still crushing it. And
are
so
you
it's
running that?
Yeah, so we're actually in the middle of selling it right now, just
Okay.
because I want to focus on Young Entrepreneur School.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still have it with me, but again, we're selling that one and another one. We're in that process right now because again, I'm really passionate about what we've built with the Young Entrepreneur School so far and helping people and serving people. And so I want to put a lot of my focus on that. And
I love that.
yeah,
I
so
love that. You're doing exactly what the legend Steve Jobs was saying, right? You focus what not to do instead of what you should be
right,
doing.
right, absolutely.
That's awesome. Wow. What a great start. How old? So you were what, 19 then?
I
Or
was 19, just about to be 20. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow. So you got started. How was your mom? Was she like super proud of you? Like,
Oh
oh,
my
you
gosh. Yes. I mean, she's always been super supportive and positive. And again, like I said, been brought up in that positive home. But yeah, she was just like over the moon. She's like, yes, you finally get it.
yeah. Oh
She's
my
been doing
gosh.
this for like 25 years. And so she's a serial entrepreneur. She's
That's
just, she loves
awesome.
it. So
That's so I
yeah.
know we argue about our son's not going to college. He's going to be an entrepreneur. Don't worry about it. We're gonna save money on college, but we're gonna online education. So
Right, right.
it's a half joke, but yeah.
Yeah,
So that's cool. Okay, so the Yes program, I'm really excited about that. I know you are too.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's just started. You said that's about 2 months old, right? So
Yes. 2 months
you're
old.
very passionate about helping the youth. So I kind of want to talk a little bit more about how that came about. How did
Sure.
how and why the youth was the target, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how we got started was basically we had our companies that were doing really well. And a lot of my friends, parents, other people were seeing what we were doing and they were wondering how they could do the same. And so, after talking with my mom and my sister, we landed on, you know what if we just created these digital courses or this program where we taught people how to start their own business and how to make money online. And so this would have been, I mean, we launched 2 months ago, but this would have been probably in around January. And we were like, you know what, let's do it. Like, let's build a program. Let's do all the work up front, make these educational videos, and monetize on that, obviously, and help people and show them what's possible. And
Mhm.
so that's what we did. We created the videos, we created the content. We have workbooks, tons of resources, our connections, and we put it all together within this program. And so then we launched 2 months ago. And I mean, it was great. We have 50 members right now, and it's been awesome. But what's entailed within the course is basically you pick your path to wealth. So you can either sell physical products or digital products. We're going to scale that more. We're going to expand more on that, obviously, because we don't want to have just these two paths to wealth. We want to have multiple paths to wealth for kids to choose from, because we don't want to fit them in just this one box saying, hey,
Right.
this is the only way to make money online. Like, there's so many ways to make money online. And so eventually we want to have like a real estate path, Airbnb, um, um, gold trading, crypto, all kinds of stuff, where basically whatever the kid is interested in, or whatever the teen or young adult is interested in, they can pick that path to wealth and learn how to make money online, that specific industry. And so, but the reason why we started it was, again, it changed my entrepreneurship, and having a business changed my life in literally 1 month. And I realized the opportunities. And again, I was blessed with the opportunity to be raised in an entrepreneurial home, but not many kids get that opportunity. And so I
Right.
wanted to show kids what's possible. And I mean, that's just basically it. Just show kids what's possible, and help change their lives, and help them realize, first off, instill the belief that you can do this. You can have what other people have, and you can travel the world at 20 or 30 or 15, whatever it is that you want. And you can achieve big things at a young age. And so I know that's just a common belief nowadays, is like, oh, I'm too young, I can't do that. But it's not true at all, especially not with today's world and social media and stuff. I mean, it's anything is possible at any age. And so
Yeah.
that's just our main thing, is to show kids what's possible. And yeah, obviously help them build, run, and scale their own successful online businesses.
Yeah, that's so amazing that you're doing that, because there's a lot of alignment, like similarities to why you're doing what you're doing, and then why I'm doing what I'm doing. Also,
Right.
I actually share this with you, but obviously, I'm in like the mindset game, right? But
Right.
this is very much like an inspiration type of thing as well, because like
Absolutely.
I had such a massive anxiety background. I don't know if you've ever
Mhm.
encountered anxiety before, but
Yeah.
I had years of debilitating anxiety, right? To the point where like
Yeah.
I just, okay, this is my 9 to 5. This is as good as life's gonna get.
Right. Right.
So then I started obviously getting help and seeing the world as an opportunity kind of thing. So it's like now I
Right.
want to get that back. I want to teach people like you're not stuck. There is an
Yes.
opportunity, and you just need to you just need to see the path so you can understand how you
Absolutely.
got there. Because otherwise, they're gonna see your badass website, right? It's like, wow, like this is she must be a millionaire, like because she has this website, she has this program, she has all this stuff, and that's not, I mean, it can be the case, but it's not
Right.
always, because it looks like it's so far out of reach. When
Right.
people have a logo, it's like you're legit, you're a business, like you've
Right.
made, but really you go to Fiverr, pay $10 and your logo's done. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's a lot easier than people think. And I think with influencer types and mentors like you and
Absolutely.
Gary Vee, that's inspiring the youth, right? um it's just a whole different game now. So I really
Absolutely.
because you're just presenting opportunities. Now we're up against the conversation of um the kids talking to their parents saying, I don't want to go to college, I want to drop shit.
Right. 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 And parents kind of
So,
being stuck in their ways of, no, this is
right.
what you need to do. It's the comfortable route, and it's what everyone else is doing, basically. But
Yeah, I'm gonna be a
there's,
doctor. No,
yeah,
you're
right.
a store owner.
Right.
So I mean that's fun though. Do you have to kind of navigate those conversations at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, we're not against college in any way at all. It wasn't for me. And we realize that for some kids, it's not the path. And
Right.
I mean, college is needed for some things, doctors, engineers, all kinds, architects, all kinds of stuff. It is needed in some case scenario, but you don't have to follow the traditional, go to college, get a 9 to 5 job, and do something you absolutely hate. But it's just because you just do it because everyone else is doing it. And so again, we're just trying to show kids the opportunity. Hey, if you do this and you end up not liking it, it wasn't for you, but at least you tried and saw, you know what, this is possible at least.
Right. Yeah, and it's college is like the thing you're supposed to do. You
Right.
know, I already knew that straight out of high school,
Right.
I was not going to like your traditional college. I was like,
Yeah.
why am I going to go to college and learn English and math all over again just to
Right.
get what I want to learn later? That doesn't make sense
Right.
to me. I'm like,
Right.
I'm going to go straight directly to the source, what I want to learn and learn it. Like,
Yes.
so I never understood the concept. Even in people's yearbooks, I'm writing there like, yeah, won't see you in college, but have a good.
Right.
So I
I
mean,
love that.
it's just kind of how my my view on college has been too. I mean, I have
I
nothing against
agree. Yeah.
the ones that, the ones that need to go, obviously go, but
Right.
totally open to the opportunity of creating your own kind of future. And that's exactly what you're in the business of doing for sure too. So
Absolutely.
I'm curious though, like, with like such a big picture, a big idea, like what major roles do you have specifically like in the business so far? And where do you see yourself kind of going with the business with all these, like, 'cause obviously you can, but it'll take a long time to
Right.
get really knowledgeable in crypto, really knowledgeable in affiliate marketing. And I saw your
Yeah.
story, affiliate marketing, then there's this, then
Yes.
there's
Yes.
so maybe.
So what we're doing is basically, I want to scale this quick, and I know I'm not the expert in those industries. And so I'm the expert or my sister and I are the expert in e-com and expert digital products. I actually invited my mom in the digital products one as well, because she's been in that industry for 25 years. But we're inviting experts from from those specific industries to come in and teach it. Because
So
again, I know we're not the experts, and we want our students to get the best of the best and to learn as much as they can. And so we're going to invite a real estate expert. We're going to invite an Airbnb expert, have them teach their course or their program, and get these kids, just again, provide the resources that these kids need in order to be successful. And so,
right, yeah. So you're gonna have like a full on like academy type of deal,
yes, yes,
right?
that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because I think that's I mean, obviously you probably know who Ty Lopez is, right?
yes.
Exactly what he does. He
Mhm.
just he doesn't teach hardly anything. He just
Yeah,
sells this course, but has all these people come on in. I don't know if you've ever taken one of his courses before,
I
but
have it.
he has a lot of guests just come in and teaching their expertise, and he just kind of like, all
Very
right,
cool.
your thing. See you guys later,
Yeah,
and I'll check when you're
that's
done.
that's exactly what it's literally like a school. Like you have different uh industries that you can choose from, past to wealth that you can choose from, and you can learn from these specific things. And so we're
Yeah.
just trying to provide all the resources in one spot for these kids, and make it as easy as possible.
You're gonna do like GPAs at all in the school? Like, hey, you passed with flying colors,
Oh,
4.0.
so we're gonna have awards. We haven't done this yet, but eventually, for the next few months here, we're gonna have like, hey, you hit your first 1,000. Hey, you hit your first 10,000, and we'll send little gifts. And then the big ones, like your first 6 figures, we're gonna send this huge plaque. We're gonna have little incentives, obviously, along the way, because that's what people love that stuff, and it
That's
feels good. It feels good to be celebrated, and we want to celebrate our students within our program, because it's what it's all about at the end of the day, helping them succeed and become successful. So
Yep, and that'll help them become, educators as well.
motivated.
You're right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They'll get their ClickFunnels award. They'll get their, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
it's great a
Absolutely.
mob mentality. It's very smart. Very smart. Wow. Okay. So 21 years old and you're
Mhm.
knocking out the world. You're building this freaking empire. That's amazing. But have you ever felt, even 2019 or leading up to
Mhm.
now, even too, have you ever felt like your age might potentially be an issue or hindered your mindset in any way? And if so,
Yeah.
how was that?
Absolutely. So when I first started, yes, absolutely. Like I was like, I'm too young to do this. And honestly, why I kind of lean more towards the ecom side. And I think why a lot of kids would necessarily, because they can hide behind a script. Like they don't have to show their face. No one has to know that you run this store, this store, this store, whatever it is. And so that's why obviously I picked that industry to start out with. And it was a big jump. Whenever we decided to start the Young Entrepreneur School, I knew I was going to have to be on camera. I knew I was going to be doing podcasts and interviews. I knew I was going to be, my goal is to speak on stage someday. And I knew I was going to have to do that. And I'm like super introverted. I honestly, like, being fully transparent, when I was in high school and I did speeches, like I would freak out. And I was terrible. Like I was not good at speech whatsoever. And so that really did scare me. And it still does sometimes. Honestly, like I've done a lot of podcasts now and I'm super comfortable with that, but like eventually speaking on stage, like I am nervous for that, but I know what I have to bring to the table, what I have to bring to the table is valuable. And I know it can help people and serve people. And so I've realized that, and I've again had a complete total mindset shift, because I know it's possible and I want other people to experience this because it really is life changing. And so I just constantly remind myself on a daily basis, honestly, like I say, I have affirmations and I do them every morning. And like one of my favorites is like, I'm good at what I do and what I offer transforms lives. And I just constantly am saying that in my head, every day, all day, every day. And so, but it honestly, it's reprogramming my brain to believe like, you know what? Yes, like you're meant to be doing this and you're going to help a lot of people and stuff. So, yeah, so it started. Yes, I was scared to death, but now, and today I'm still nervous about certain things, but honestly, it's just a path in my journey, and gotten a lot more comfortable. I'm making videos now. Like my sister was a social media person. She was doing all that stuff. And then again, she kind of stepped away from the business. And so now it's me, and I was super uncomfortable at first. Like if you scroll down and watch the first video, I'm so awkward. I'm like talking, but now I'm a lot more comfortable and
get better. You get better with, I was telling, because my mom just, it's funny, we're I wasn't raised like necessarily in like the traditional entrepreneurial route. Like my mom was always like dabbling with different MLMs and stuff like that.
Right.
And they progressively got better, right? They were like MLM, this is terrible. And then it got better, and then it got better, and then it was a different one. Now she's a really good one, but she's also starting her own kind of like digital business as well. So she's like, I have to make content. I'm like, just the words sounded so foreign. I was like, okay, mom, but like you're going to do amazing. You just have to get out there and start doing it, and then you'll get better. Like
if you take action and just do it. Yeah, you hit it on the head.
Yeah. I'm looking at some old YouTube videos that I did. I'm like, wow, awkward. You get better for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Just keep going with it. That I remember I was doing a mindset lesson on I think fear, like on like fear of failure specifically, right? We broke the whole thing down, and there were people in the chat just kind of saying stuff like, fear of public speaking is like number one. Number two is fear of death. And then someone said
crazy.
They're like, so they'd rather be in the coffin than delivering a speech. And I'm like, that's so weird. It's such a dark way of putting it, but yeah, it really is. Get better. I doubt like anyone just goes gung ho and says, hey, I'm ready and confident and ready to go. Things are perfect. That's like, I feel like that's a little bit off balance of the scale. You know what I mean? Like you're a little bit overly optimistic about what's going to happen on the stage, you know? And there's nothing wrong with having confidence, but it's like the ones that are like, running into the stage, doing a cartwheel and saying, hey, I'm here. So totally do whatever.
Yes.
So that's awesome. But you mentioned that your sister decided to kind of part ways. Is she like completely out, or did she come in and kind of dabble a little bit and then, okay, see you later?
Right. So I do a lot of this stuff. I've always kind of done a lot of stuff with all of our businesses just because I'm really interested in that. My sister was interested, still kind of is, but is still trying to find her own path. So she's 18 or just turned 19, excuse me. And she's just trying to find her own path and do her own thing. Just that age. And it's not what she's super passionate about. I'm super passionate about this, and I respect that for her. And so she's actually decided to go the ministry route, which super respectful of that. And I'm happy for her. I want her to be happy at the end of the day. And so she still helps with some stuff like planning our content and stuff like that for social media. But I do majority of this stuff, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I kind of saw it coming when we were creating this business. And so I'm okay with it. And again, I want her to be happy and just happy at the end of the day, and do what's best for her.
That's great. Yeah. So you guys grew up like in a Christian environment. Is that
yes.
Okay. So did I as well. Yeah, very good. Awesome. Okay. So it feels good to be the captain, basically, just because that's like
I love it's what I mean, again, when we started our first e-com store, like she was in high school still, so super busy with work, sports, cheer, all kinds of stuff. And so I kind of just took the bull by the horns. I was like, okay, I got this. And so I've been doing it for a few years now, and it's comfortable now. So
so you're used to it. You're used to being the head honcho, the leader, and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. So you did mention, we had an intro call, obviously, and you did mention kind of in passing that you are like an advocate for like mindset stuff, right? So
absolutely.
How does that really impact you? I know you were talking about the age thing, how you're like, no, yes, I can do this. Yes, I've done it. And it's my duty to help other people. But has that shown up in any other ways of your life that you can kind of owe credit to, like mindset was responsible for this? Is there anything that comes to mind for that?
Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't be where I am today, obviously, with our businesses had I not shifted my mindset and my just belief. I think that's one of the main things today is honestly the main reason why people don't succeed is because they don't believe that they can do that, or they don't believe, they don't have a positive mindset, and they haven't been training and sustaining a positive mindset in a sense. And so they don't have that ultimate belief that, hey, maybe I can do this, or they have disempowering beliefs rather than empowering beliefs. So that's
Right.
actually like one of my favorite quotes is by Myron Golden: ask empowering questions rather than disempowering questions. So rather than asking questions to yourself, like, what if this fails? What if this business isn't successful? What if I lose all my money? Ask questions like, well, what if this changes my life? What if I make a lot of money? What if my business is successful? And so
Yeah.
just again, just that complete total mind shift. And within our program, we preach that. I mean, mindset is so huge. I believe it's half the battle. If you believe you can do it, you're going to become pretty unstoppable. And
Yeah.
so that's a huge part of it. And like within our program, within our groups, like I preach that on a daily basis, like, hey, like make sure you're in the right mindset, make sure you're training and sustaining a positive mindset on a daily basis, reading affirmations, listening to self-development podcasts, reading self-development books, constantly training that brain. And it's going to be a lot easier than having a negative mindset. And because it's just, you're going to be weighing yourself down. You're going to already have these people on the outside coming in, haters, negative comments, all that stuff. So if you're feeding your brain that on a daily basis, it's not going to help. There's nothing good that comes out of being negative. So why not try to be positive?
Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think it's funny because it's funny you say that, because I put out a video a while back that was like, yeah, negative thinking is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was meant to like catch people's attention, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, how? Like, well,
Yeah.
for you to look at all the stuff that's gone wrong and correct it. Really, if you
Right.
just
Absolutely. You learn from those failures, right? You learn from those negative thoughts, you know?
exactly, yeah. If you use it productively, there's productive negative thinking, obviously. But
Absolutely.
Byron is just, man, that guy is, like that guy's a freaking genius. So I love that. I have never heard that quote before, but I have heard like variations of that. Obviously, it's instead
Yeah.
of like, oh, I can't do this, figure out how you can do this, right?
Right.
The empowering questions, that goes a long way. So I can imagine
Absolutely.
you have a pretty good idea of what you want to accomplish the rest of this year, and what do you want to accomplish the rest of this year, and then do you have plans already kind of set out for next year?
Absolutely. So by the end of this year, right now, like I mentioned earlier, we have 50 members. I want to scale pretty quickly here. We're going to start launching ads here pretty soon. And I want to have 500 members by the end of this year. Again, just serve people, impact them. Eventually, I want to have, so right now, what's included in our program is you get access to the courses, obviously. And then you have access to weekly Q&A calls, a VIP Facebook group, and a Discord group, just for that networking and accountability. But I want to have mindset and accountability coaching as well for our students, just because, again, I know how important that is. Yes, exactly. I know how important that is. And it's just to keep them on the right track. And hey, like, you got this. It feels good. Like I have that, like every few weeks I hop on a call with a mindset coach, and she's awesome. I mean, it's great because it just gets me right back on track. And when I have those negative thoughts, or maybe, you know what, maybe this isn't going to work. Like maybe I can't have this, or this isn't going to happen. She's like, what, why are you even thinking that? Like, learn or see that, identify what it is, and then see how you can find the solution or the resolution. And so, yeah, that's the goal for this year. And then next year, I mean, so a full calendar year from when we launched, I want to have 1,500 members in. And yeah, so that's basically the goal. And again, just serve and impact people and help them however I can. And but yeah, that's the ultimate goal from a year from now. So have 1,500 members in, learning our products, have multiple paths to wealth. So again, we just have the 2 right now. But the goal is to have as many as possible, maybe 8 to 10, 8 to 12 other ones. Again, marketing, sales, Airbnb, all kinds of stuff. Again, we want these kids to pick what interests them the most. And so, that's the goal.
You should keep the 10x plan in the mix. So you got 50.
Absolutely.
You want 500 at the end of the year. You should go for
Yes.
5,000 by next year.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, why not? Grant Cardone, go big or go home. Just always plan.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like
Absolutely.
that's like the that's kind of like the pattern and the path that you're kind of already almost gearing towards.
Right.
So that's incredible. I have no doubt about it that you can pull that off, honestly. So shoot
Thank you.
for the overly go over 5,000,
Yes.
good number, especially because right now your pricing point, and we don't have to talk about that just now because I know that's subject to change, but your pricing point right now is just it's just if Alex Ramosi, right? His
Absolutely. My mom's a good friend with him.
Oh, is she really? That's awesome. Yeah, this guy,
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading his book and, you know, create offers that people feel stupid to say no to, right?
Yes.
What
Yes.
your offer is literally that. So like that's that you can scale that very quickly, especially this year. Even if prices go up, to double, it would still justify the price. Just my little piece of advice or a piece of feedback for you there. So
Thank
my
you. I appreciate that.
yeah, of course, of course. So awesome. Biggest mentor. Who is your biggest mentor or biggest inspiration? Let's get into that for a
My
second.
mom. My mom, hands down, easy. I mean, I was born and raised with her, but I mean, she's like my best friend. She's my mentor, my inspiration, my best friend. She has grown and scaled multiple 6, 7 figure companies. I mean, she's amazing. And again, I tell her everything. She's literally my best friend. And so that's
Cool.
that's the easiest answer ever.
That is so cool. Yeah, you didn't even blink an eye. You're like, Mom.
Yeah.
Get your mom in here. Is your mom around? Have her jump in, like, hey.
I know. I wish she's on a call downstairs, but she's awesome.
No worries. No, she's running businesses. Yeah, she's got her own podcasts and content.
Yes.
So we'll have to jump on her call with her next time. And
Absolutely.
how was it raising a baby entrepreneur? Did you have to nudge her a little bit? Like,
Right, right.
did you read Alex Hormozy books to her when she was younger?
Right, lullabies. Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow, you have such a great upbringing. It sounds like your mom and you are close, which my mom and I are very close too. So that's awesome.
I love that.
If there's one thing right about mindset, you sprinkle in a lot of like great pieces of advice and perspective with mindset, how it's changed your life. Is there one specific piece of advice that you would like to give the youth and say, hey, don't forget this when it comes to mindset? Well, what do you think that would be?
Absolutely. The number one thing that I learned from this whole, like the past few years, and I would encourage and I preach it, is learn that it's okay to fail. Learn from your failures. And that's failing is how you grow. Learn from those mistakes or learn from those failures and use them as stepping stones rather than anchors that are just holding and weighing you down. So that would be my main thing, is just learn from them. And again, understand that you only grow when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Whenever you stay comfortable, you're going to stay in the same spot for however long you stay in that specific place. So
that's great. Don't dwell on anything necessarily, because it's not
Mhm.
really going to serve you for sure.
Right.
That's really easy to do. I think that's really hard, especially for the youth, which makes me respect what you do even more, because like social media sucks. Like
yes. There are pros, but there are a lot of cons, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate, but again, there are opportunities with it as well. But you have to surround yourself with the right people and watch the right things on social media rather than just kind of watching the not so great things and just totally weighing yourself down and doing what everyone else is doing, basically.
I agree. We should do a little mini course on like how to utilize social media to your advantage and not let it bring
I
you
love
down.
that.
So
yes.
you should put that as an
I
intro
love it.
to your course.
Yes, seriously.
It's a true like epidemic. People are getting
It really
depressed.
is.
They don't get enough likes, or they don't have the business that can wear Rolexes and drink Mai Tais on the beach and drive a Ferrari or whatever, Lamborghini.
Right.
And it's depressing for a lot of people. They see overnight success, and it's really deterring of them to really create that. So like, you're in a good position because you have a great mindset on a great head on your shoulders too. So you can literally just tell everyone, hey, don't worry about this. This is relevant to what we're going to teach you. I promise.
Absolutely.
They're in good hands. So I have to respect the future educators that you're going to put in, because I know you're really going to put a lot of emphasis on like, you have to care,
yes.
not just what you do, but who you do it for. That's like
absolutely
the combination. It's not just about what you're teaching them. It's about who you're teaching to,
absolutely.
which them kind of on the right path, away from, you know, um, toxic people, toxic behaviors, and so on. So you're doing a lot more than just teaching wealth, to be honest. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Well,
think
and it's so you again, you hit it on the head. It's so important. Like it's a pretty cliche saying, but like the 5 people you surround yourself the most is the product that's eventually going to be created,
I,
And so people kind of take that for granted and they're like, oh, they hear that and it's like, oh, whatever. Like, okay, I have my friends from high school or college or whatever, and they're amazing. Like I love them. But really take a step back and say, you know what? Are they helping me? Are they pushing me towards my goals? Do they believe in what I believe in? And certain things like that. I mean, it's so important and you don't realize it, but it is, again, you're feeding your brain and whatever you feed your brain with, like I said earlier, it's the product that's eventually going to be created. So,
yeah,
um,
true,
yeah,
true. And like just like this, like the more you network, the more you talk to people, things just kind of out.
networking is one of the, I mean, most important things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
always say,
Yeah.
like, to get people's attention, I always have this, like, because I know it stops people in their tracks. Like, even if they're not paying attention to this live call I'm doing, because some people get distracted very easily, right?
Right.
I'll say stuff like, guys, I just want to throw this out there because you guys might not know this, but networking is not really recommended. Actually a requirement. Like,
Right. Right.
oh, got
Oh,
me.
okay.
So I always kind
I
of feel
love
that.
that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, that's
Um,
good.
so Maddie, tell me, you shared a freaking banger of a quote from Myron. Do you have any other, like, I like to end these calls usually on like a really positive, like, quote, could be
Absolutely.
yours, anything, business or not, life, whatever you want. Do you have another favorite one you like to throw in there?
Absolutely. Actually, I have two here I wrote down. I have these on like my affirmation board and I read them every day. But one of them was entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. And so
Mm,
again, that just kind of emphasizes again, like entrepreneurship provides so many different opportunities that can literally change your life. If you just sit down and work hard and believe it, it can literally change your life within, I mean, for me, it was a month.
yeah,
But it can change your life in a few months, a year, a couple of years. It's that powerful.
yeah,
And so I thought that was awesome. And then this one by Jensen Sarah was, if you're serious about changing your life, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And so you really have to be dedicated and again, have that belief instilled within you.
yeah.
And yeah, if you just sit down and do it,
Mhm.
again, just take action. That's half the battle, believing and taking action right there.
Right.
You're already halfway there.
I can't agree more with you because there's work to be done, but there's no guarantee that you're.
Absolutely.
That's why people get like the,
Right.
this is worth it. Well, think
Right.
about it. What's the end goal of why you're doing what you're doing, right?
Right.
What are your intentions behind the action? So I love that.
Right.
And Jen is amazing. I've read all of her books. You Are a Badass. Have you read those?
I haven't actually. So I found this a few months ago and I was like, I love that. I didn't even
Yeah.
know oh my gosh, so I'm going to
She-
be reading a few books now.
you're gonna love that. You're gonna love those books. I guarantee it. I read all of them.
Awesome.
So it's
Oh my
like you're
gosh.
making money. Like, it's the whole You Are a Badass series, but
I
they're
love.
yeah.
Oh
I'll
my
I'll
gosh.
I'll
Okay.
share it with you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, no, thank you, Maddie. I really appreciate you being here very much. And you shared a lot of great information. Thank you so much for your time. Where can we get in touch with you? Where can we find you find more about you? Stuff like that, links or Instagram.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So you can connect with me on Instagram. It's Maddie.Cawley. That's my personal. And then our business one is Young Entrepreneurs School. And then our website is to learn more about our program and what we believe and what our values are is www.theyoungentrepreneurschool.com. And so connect with me
Perfect.
there or DM me, whatever it is. And I'm here. So
Awesome. I'll go ahead and link those obviously in the description as well. So we can
great.
get you and find out more about what you're doing for the youth and everything else that you're doing with all the other avenues of wealth, which is fantastic, amazing. So
Absolutely.
Patty, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here, and we will talk very soon. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate it.